Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Virtual Global Smile Foundation Gala. I'm Babak Azizadeh, and I want to welcome you guys to hopefully a wonderful afternoon with us. We really appreciate you taking your time to spend with us, and hopefully um, this evening or late afternoon, wherever you may be, or morning for some of you, will be a fun one. Many of you guys obviously are already very attuned and know Global Smile Foundation, but I'm going to just share with you a little bit about my own experience with GSF and how it's shaped my life and who I've become. Because I would be a completely different person if it wasn't for GSF. I got involved with medical missions with Usama Hamdan, who's the president of the Global Smile Foundation, about 18 years ago when I was a fellow in Boston. And by luck, I was asked to go on a medical mission because the resident that was supposed to go couldn't go. And I ended up going to Guatemala, and it kind of changed my whole life and understanding of why I decided to become a doctor. The first day where we were screening patients and I walked in and I saw all these moms and dads and beautiful children with so much hope and desperation, the combination of both. I knew that, this is why I went into medicine. And since that time, I've had the privilege and honor of going to many missions with Global Smile Foundation and Usama. And it's just very humbling to be a part of it. One of the amazing things that you guys will figure and see today is that Global Smile Foundation is just not an organization, but it's a family, and family of volunteers and family with our patients. And when we go on missions, we really treat the kids and the parents like family, with lots of hugs and love and treatment that's above and beyond what probably many of us provide for our own patients here in the United States. And the volunteers just are truly amazing human beings, and they give so much of their time. Now today, obviously, we would love to have had this gala as we usually do in Boston, but because of the COVID pandemic, we've had to turn this into a virtual gala. And we hope that everyone who's tuning in really understands how much the organization needs your support more than ever, because this pandemic has decimated the surgical outreach programs, not only with Global Smile Foundation, but others around the globe. And the level of commitment and care that we need to provide as we get out of this pandemic is going to be immense. And we need every cent of your support to be able to accomplish what we need to do over the next year or two and beyond, because the past year basically has been an empty year. And so many kids around the world have not had the surgeries that they need. And also, obviously, there have been, financial issues that many humanitarian organizations have had to deal with as well. So we hope that you guys really do as much as you can over these next couple hours and help help us achieve our goals of and beat our goals of what we hope to do to be able to treat these amazing and wonderful kids all around the world. So we will today have a mix of physicians and volunteers and musicians and some stories about our patients, and hopefully we'll be able to show you guys why Global Smile Foundation could be one of your, at least consider us for a generous donation, small or large. So can we get the next slide, please? So we'll have, again, tonight, hopefully I won't speak a lot more than what I just spoke, but I'll introduce some truly amazing people, and we'll be able to give you guys, a couple hours away from all the COVID related stress that we're all going through. So the first speaker I'd like to introduce, before we get there, first of all, we want to thank Harris Plastic Surgery, Golf and Eric Kaufman for already giving us generous donations. But to be able to donate today, this is probably the most important slide. Please write down this number, 781-217-3186. And if you want to donate using a credit card, please send a text with give, and it will give you all the directions of how to donate with a credit card. And if you would like to send a check-in, text pledge to that number, and it will guide you of where to send the check-in. And for those of you who are joining us from outside the United States, please go to our website, gsmile.org/donate, and you can donate through the website. Our next slide. And this is a little video about Global Smile Foundation. So hopefully it's a few minutes and we'll be able to give you a little, background about us.
Hi, my name is Dr. Osama Hamdan. I'm the president of Global Smile Foundation. I'd like to thank all of you wholeheartedly for supporting our outreach CLEP programs over the last 3 decades.
It's incredibly humbling and rewarding being here, just knowing that I'm making an impact on so many lives who depend on us for these resources and medical supplies.
Jamás en la vida creo que vamos a tener como nosotros pagar tantas cirugías.
Nos ha cambiado la vida porque sentimos que todas las cirugías por las que el niño ha pasado han hecho que él sea ahora un niño seguro de sí mismo.
There's no better feeling in the world than witnessing a parent's reaction, seeing their child for the first time after surgery.
Everybody at GSF just rocks. I mean, they're just a fantastic team, and the way they work together is just fantastic. It's great to be a part of it.
El trato que nos dan, muy humano, los tratan muy bonito.
Thanks to your support, we have been able to provide comprehensive cleft care for our patients and give them the chance to have a normal, decent life. Thank you so much for all your support.
Primero Dios te siga y siga para que más niños tengan una sonrisa linda.
So that was an amazing video. So today's goal, or tonight's goal for us is to achieve $75,000 in donation. And we've already actually, through kind of the pre-gala, have been able to reach 19,600. I really actually want to hopefully reach about $100,000. So again, you have the directions. So please, please do everything you can to help us achieve this goal. And this is really, this organization, I mean, I've been involved with it for so long, and they run such a tight ship, but with safety. And this is where, this is the difference, safety and sustainability, that the empowerment of the local communities and the safety of the missions are just unbelievable. It's as if we're in the United States doing these surgeries, and the quality is just unbelievable. So please do everything you can. And today, tonight, please give us your best, or put your best foot forward. So our next introduction is Dr. Adam Johnson, who is one of GSF's star volunteer surgeons. And I met Adam several years ago on a mission to Ecuador, and I can't tell you what an amazing person, surgeon, human being, and volunteer he is. He is one of the top pediatric otolaryngologists at Arkansas's Children's Hospital, which is one of the preeminent children's hospitals in the world. And Adam's been a volunteer since 2015, and also the director of research at GSF. And this is really important. Part of our mission is not just clinical care, but we are doing just outcomes research to see and differentiate what we're doing compared to other organizations within the United States, outside the United States, and really kind of making sure that our outcomes are the best they can be. So we've spent a lot of time and energy in improving our outcomes research, improving our quality of care, and Adam is at the highest level of that quality. So I'd like for you guys to meet Dr. Johnson and get to know him a little bit and why he loves GSF.
Hello, and welcome to Sign In for Smiles. I'm Adam Johnson here from Arkansas. I'm glad you could join us tonight. This time of year always gets me super excited and feeling extremely thankful. And so one of the things that I'm always super thankful for is our Global Smile Foundation family. I always think back to when I went on my first mission trip with Global Smile Foundation, and how excited and how nervous I was, leaving my home, getting on a plane and flying to a country where I wasn't quite sure what I was going to step into. And the interesting thing is, I've been doing this for 5 years now, and every mission trip, I still get that same excitement. I do want to share a little story with you. I actually am one of the surgeons that operates with Global Smile Foundation. And I remember that, I would just operate, and, kind of just working through patients and just trying to do the best care in the operating room. Until actually one day, Dr. Hamdan actually came and grabbed me. He's just like, hey, I really want you to come sit in the recovery room. And I came over there and I just sat and I was just like, man, we have a lot of work to do. What am I doing here? And I remember the kid that I had just operated on was laying there in bed, starting to wake up, feeling very comfortable. And then mom comes around the corner, and then she burst into tears and I burst into tears, and we were all hugging and happy, and I almost felt like there was just angelical music playing. But those are the kinds of situations and memories that we form with this foundation, and we can't do these sorts of things without your support. So thank you for being here, and thank you for helping us at Global Smile Foundation.
So as you could see, the outcomes are just unbelievable. And just building on what Adam said, that's kind of the difference between, honestly, every other mission and mission group and us. If I were to say the first thing that really I think of is family, family with one another, being family-like with one another, with the other volunteers, and just hugging the patients. And they can't, I mean, this is the energy that is given to these patients and they give to us is so meaningful. And you just don't see that, honestly, in the care that is given in the US, let alone when you go to a remote country and the families just feel like, okay, this organization, these group of surgeons, they're here for the right reason. They're not here just to practice, because don't forget, a lot of these organizations and a lot of these patients also have some hesitation about surgeons who are coming into their country, because they think, oh my God, who are these people? And are they here practicing on us? And that's why, one of the wonderful things that Global Smile Foundation does is not just build relationships with the patients, but build relationships with the local organizations. And we'll see a little bit of that a little bit later, and also with the governments, so that they can trust us and understand that when we go to their country, we're going there to really give those children the best possible care, sustainability, and that's really, really important to us and to the local governments. Our next wonderful individual who's given their time to perform for us is Habib Alberto, and he is a very accomplished performer and musician from the Middle East, and he regularly performs in Europe, and we'd like to introduce him as our musical guest from Beirut. So Lizbeth is one of our star patients, and one of the other really, really amazing things that GSF does is many of our patients go on to become actually volunteers for the organization, and as adults and as teenagers. And one of our patients actually now has a part-time job with us, Diego, who's put together all these amazing videos. And that's the empowerment that we really want to give to the local communities. It's not just, again, going and performing these life-altering medical procedures. It's really going and touching their lives and empowering them to become, doctors and nurses and dentists and business individuals and so forth. So our goal when we go to these missions is not just, again, going in and closing up a cleft lip. It's a lot bigger than that. So it's just so amazing, our ability to be touched by our patients and vice versa. Our next speaker is an amazing humanitarian, Dr. Serena Tang, and she has been a volunteer with us with GSF as an anesthesiologist from Louisiana since 2018. And she's also a member of our anesthesiology committee. And this is one of another differentiating factor of GSF. We're not just content with going in and doing our job. What we want to do is continue to improve ourselves. The first day we get to a mission, it's all about safety. We sit down, we have team meeting after team meeting, going through safety protocols, going through ACLS, going through all of the potential pitfalls that we can have. We develop committees where anesthesiologists from several different missions get together and discuss how can we do better anesthesia. And we spend the end of our mission going around and being very honest with ourselves of what we did well and what we didn't do so well, so we can continue to improve. And that's why we have these amazing committees, not just anesthesia, but surgeons and dentists and so forth that we create to be able to really improve on our, what we've done. And that's the only way that you can be a better organization. So I'd like to introduce Serena to give us, her experience with GSF and thank her for all her hard work and on all the missions that she's gone to.
Hello, I'm Dr. Serena Tang. I'm a pediatric anesthesiologist in New Orleans, Louisiana at the Ochsner Hospital for Children, and have been a part of the Global Smile family since 2018. From the very first moment that I set foot in the Leon Becerra Children's Hospital in Guayaquil, Ecuador, I feel like I was welcomed immediately. The thing that impressed me the most was how well run the mission was. I've been a part of several mission trips in the past, and Global Smile goes above and beyond in its commitment to delivering safe, compassionate care to these patients, to ensuring team safety and well-being, to being a proponent for education, and to advancing research in the care of the child with cleft lip and palate. For these reasons, Global Smile has remained a big part of the volunteer work that I do, and I'm proud to take on the responsibility of always working to improve the safety of the anesthetic care that we deliver. In addition to the rewarding nature of this kind of work, the mission trip allows us to forge friendships across the country and across oceans. Every year we get together is like a family reunion. And I hope that these pictures that follow give you an idea of the joy that the Global Smile Foundation brings to us and the families alike. Because a beautiful smile is simply priceless.
So you just saw Evelyn, and Evelyn is another star patient and volunteer and has been part of our family since her first surgery, and you could see the transformation and the confidence that she has. And not only are the lives of people like Evelyn changed, but think about all the families around them, all the people around them, their parents, the siblings, the cousins. You have to understand that these children who are born with cleft lip and palate in some countries, you know, they're shunned to such a big degree, not just themselves, but their entire families because of, you know, obvious factors with small communities and villages and towns. And once their cleft lip is corrected, not only are they brought or have the ability to be back in their communities and be able to socialize and live productive lives, but also their families. It truly impacts about probably 20 people every one person that we operate on. So even though we always talk about, oh, you know, your $1,000 is going to help one or two kids, it's really that $1,000 is probably impacting 20 people. So I want you to really think about that as you consider your donation to Global Smile Foundation. And it really can make a huge difference in communities. So our next speaker and video is one of my favorite people. Just Denise Franco is the president of GSF Ecuador, currently living in Mexico City, but has been an integral part of GSF and the growth of GSF with Dr. Hamden. And this is one of the wonderful things that I truly believe differentiates GSF with almost any other humanitarian and global organization is the amount of collaboration that we have with local organizations that are at the ground level. My own experience with Denise was has been so meaningful for so many years since I've been going to Ecuador. But most recently, Denise, a few years ago, talked to me about a patient who had a smile dysfunction. As she knew, I do a lot of smile surgeries back home with nerve surgery. And basically, we saw the patient, we treated the patient had a great outcome, and Denise single-handedly said that that's it. I want to develop a reanimation program, a facial paralysis program, and just went to the ground level of bringing together all the resources I needed and the team of surgeons needed to be able to start a reanimation program that literally is so hard to do in the United States, let alone in Ecuador. And on our first full-fledged mission, the line outside to see these adults and kids with facial paralysis was endless. And this is, again, what differentiates, I think, GSF with many other organizations, not only in Ecuador, but in Peru and other parts of the world. We work hand in hand with the local organizations that, really creates not only the family, but the infrastructure to allow us to reach out to a lot more people and a lot more individuals because of people like Denise. So I want to personally just thank Denise and everything she's done for the people of Ecuador. Honestly, she's just an angel, and hopefully you'll get to hear her and her vision for GSF.
Greetings from Mexico City. Thank you for joining us this evening and attending our Global Smile Virtual Gala. Looking forward with this gala to raise awareness about cleft lip and palate and count on your support with donations to keep bringing back more smiles to many more families around the world. Let me introduce myself. My name is Denise Franco Mera. I am from Guayaquil, Ecuador, one of the first mission sites 33 years ago for Dr. Osama Hamdan. I started as a volunteer in 1996 and became president of Fundación Global Smile Ecuador by the end of 2014. It's been almost 6 years leading this wonderful foundation in Ecuador, and it's my honor to be able to return to my country as a volunteer with such a great team and give back to my community, providing free surgeries and comprehensive cleft care for those in need. This year has been definitely a challenge for everyone. Our last mission was in March, and we were able to provide healthcare for around 200 patients, with 55 patients receiving their free surgeries, and providing also dental, psychological, and speech therapy support to many others. Also, thanks to the support of Dr. Babak Azizadeh, we launched the first facial paralysis program in Latin America, providing life-changing surgeries. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we were forced to cancel our July and September mission, but the families that need our support are waiting for us. Babies with cleft lip and palate were born during the toughest month of the pandemic in Ecuador, and also our former patients needed our follow-up. This is how, thanks to the hard work of our cleft center team, and especially to our coordinator, Dr. Lisbeth Roman, we started providing our medical services via telehealth, taking care up to this date up to almost 100 patients, and we have a full mission ready with patients waiting for us for March 2021. Thanks to Dr. Karina Mayorga, our patients are also receiving their speech therapy sessions. Additionally, through our social media, we have been posting information with the support of our volunteers and young patients that have contributed to video messages to stay connected and offer positive messages, with many of us stay at home. On September, working again together with our volunteers, I'm really grateful to Surgeon Dr. Luis Francisco Alvarado. We started a program of local surgeries to return step by step with safety protocols to provide much needed help to our patients. Thanks to this initiative, Liam and Aitana are looking forward to a future full of hope and opportunity as part of our society. Our commitment and our responsibility, but all our hearts are with all the families that need our help. We're looking forward to return to our beautiful Ecuador. Thank you again for joining us, and we count on your support. Enjoy this gala.
Estamos muy emocionados después de meses de planificación, tomando en cuenta las recomendaciones internacionales de cuidados pre, trans y postquirúrgicos. Hemos empezado un programa para poder volver a brindar a nuestros pacientes cirugías seguras y con resultados óptimos.
En la Fundación Global Smile Ecuador, debido a la pandemia, estuvimos realizando consultas online, pero poco a poco estamos volviendo con la atención presencial en el centro de fisurados, con el objetivo de poder seguir ayudando a nuestros pequeñitos en su tratamiento.
Estamos entrando a quirófano a operar a Liam, un bebé con una fisura labial incompleta del lado derecho, y estamos emocionados por ver sus resultados.
Estoy un poquito triste porque lo dejo solo. Yo sé que está en buenas manos. Me siento contenta, demasiado contenta, porque hoy es un día muy especial para mí y tanto para él, porque gracias a esa cirugía él va a tener otra vida.
So before we get to the introduction of Dr. Hamden, which needs no introduction, who does not need any introduction, I want to just comment on the video we just saw. I mean, think about this. We actually were on a mission in March in Ecuador when the entire world stopped, and you know, Global Smile Foundation finished its trip, came back, provided amazing care. And while the entire world has been on a standstill, because of the way that Global Smile Foundation has created sustainable models where Dr. Luigi, who's a really good friend, has been trained and has been integral in Global Smile Foundation, and he's a local Ecuadorian plastic surgeon, and he's been able to perform surgeries while our organization has been, in a sense, unable to travel to Ecuador. And that sustainability model is going to be very, very key long-term in all humanitarian missions, because we have to go to these countries and be able to train them to do the surgery so that they rely less and less on foreign organizations. And Global Smile Foundation is leading the way in that progress. And this is all because of the person that you're going to hear from now, Dr. Usama Hamdan, who is the president and founder of Global Smile Foundation. And to me, he's more than just the president of Global Smile Foundation. He is a mentor, a dear friend, and I look up to him so much as a surgeon, father, and just role model. And he gives 1,000,000% effort to this organization and sleeps, breathes, eats, and just does everything to better this organization and change the way people live their lives around the world. So I want to really thank him for everything he does for everyone around the world. And he has a few words to share. And also he's going to present the Priceless Smile Award tonight. And without much to do, Dr. Hamdan.
Thank you so much, Babak, for your kind words, and thank you for being a very dear friend and a part of this amazing journey. I really appreciate that. I'm going to be sharing the screen right now. Just I hope everybody is able to see it. This has been an amazing, actually, three-plus decade journey, and I'm very grateful for all the friends who are part of this foundation that really have made us move forward. This is from 1987, 33 years ago, and moving into Ecuador in the mid 1990s. And then we started expanding into various other parts of the world. And this is currently what the size of the team is. It's an amazing collaboration between US-based volunteers and international volunteers, especially actually in Ecuador, where we have become the largest cleft provider. We have 2 to 3 missions a year. And thanks to the efforts of Fundación Global Smile Ecuador, the one that Denise, my dear friend, just spoke about, basically, you can see the amazing cadre of volunteers that are very much involved, hands-on 24/7 over there at our cleft center, and the patients really wait for us. We actually take care of patients who come in from 18 out of 24 provinces in Ecuador. We also have become the largest cleft operator in Beirut, Lebanon, where we're operating not only on underserved Lebanese patients, but also many of the Syrian refugees and refugees from the neighboring countries as well. Beyond this, we have really decided to expand the scope of our work. We've always believed in education, but we felt that to build up sustainable cleft care, you need to standardize outreach surgical missions, and we're closely working with many sister organizations on this effort. And we also needed to increase capacity building through the diagonal model. But the diagonal model, basically, we're talking about the development of workshops, which we have been very much involved with for the last 3 years, starting in Lebanon and then expanding into Lima. This is actually in Lebanon, which was attended by almost 100 cleft professionals, and then followed by Lima, Peru last year, attended by 200. And unfortunately, because of the COVID-19 situation, we were supposed to have one Chennai, India this year, but we had to convert it into a virtual one. But still, we were able to increase the number up to 300 attendees. And this is the number of speakers and the attendees from the Lima workshop actually last year. And this year, the virtual workshop, we had 300 plus 47 speakers from 16 different countries over a period of 5 days. And we have realized basically that if you train one attendee, one cleft provider, they can impact the life of 200 patients a year. Over a 20-year span, they're impacting the life of 4,000 patients. Imagine this, by 300 attendees, we have impacted the life of 1.2 million cleft patients. And not only this, it's also the lives of their families. This is a recent article that we published in the Craniofacial Journal, showing basically the positive economical impact on the lives of these patients. Not only it takes them out of poverty, it also enhances their potential income up to $82,000 in their lifespan, as well as minimize the tremendous number of disability years. We have the workshops now lined up for Turkey in 2021, Brazil 2022, the Netherlands 2023, in Southeast Asia 2024, and in Colombia, Cartagena in 2025. We also have published a lot on the development of augmented reality, which is another way for us to try to enhance the training of our colleagues. This is Dr. Luigi Alvarado and Luigi Fayad working with us in Ecuador, and being actually helped by our colleague surgeons from 3,500 miles away, that they can be with them in the field. We also implemented a lot of the telehealth technology during the COVID-19, and we were able to communicate with a lot of our patients actually using the telehealth. And again, very quickly, you can just see the transformational phases in the patients' lives year after year. We follow these patients up until we do their cleft lip, and then do their cleft palate, and we follow them up all the way through their adulthood. And luckily, many of them have become volunteers with us right now. And one of actually our volunteers have even working with us full-time as our photographer, Diego de la S. And again, it's the transformational journey touches not only pediatric patients, but also adults. Marciano is one of the patients actually whose wife came to us in the recovery room and said, "Thank you. My husband just gave me my first kiss in 30 years of marriage." So this is the impact that actually our surgeons do. These are our patients who have turned into volunteers. And I would like to open up the floor right now to our dear friend and operational manager, Bayhan Anan, who is based in Beirut right now, and will be joining us via video.
Hi everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight. My journey with GSF started in 2013, and it has been such a blessing working and learning with everyone in the GSF family and board, from how to make a perfect cup of coffee to how to take the right medical pictures, how to orchestrate a mission from A to Z, and how to be a compassionate supporter and caregiver for our patients, their families, and our fellow team members. GSF MENA has come a long way, and I am certain it will continue to grow. Last year, with the amazing efforts of our team in Lebanon and in collaboration with BMG Hospital, we were able to start a monthly clinic whereby we get to meet new patients to provide them with preoperative care and answer all questions and concerns their families might have, and see beautiful familiar faces of our follow-up patients. Despite COVID-19, we continue to provide care through telehealth for medical, feeding, and speech consults. We are also very proud of our partnerships with UNICEF, UNHCR, Doctors Without Borders, Smile Train, and many local stakeholders and NGOs. Needless to say, 2020 has been a year like no other. In Lebanon, not only are we trying to cope with the pandemic and all its repercussions, we're trying to manage with the consequences of the August 4 explosion and the financial crisis we have. The mission last month was not only a ray of sunshine for our patients and their families. I truly believe it was a ray of sunshine and hope for all of us. We needed that reminder of humanity and giving back to the world given everything that has been going on. I am so grateful for everyone who was involved in this mission, who knew the risks and still wanted to be part of it. We were able to create and spread smiles on 31 patients and their families and give them a better hope of the future. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Bahan, for this lovely video. And again, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our founding board member, Alan Silverstein, who actually I'm so much indebted for all his support and generosity over the last 16 years since I met him first in 2004. Alan actually is the CEO of an aerospace company, PAM Inc. But really, he's one of the few individuals in the world whose heart and support for underserved people goes beyond anyone's imagination. Does it all selflessly, doesn't talk about it. He and his family have been great supported, not only of our outreach programs, but have done tremendous work in Latin America with Project for the Poor or Food for the Poor. Recently, they built a well in Idlib, Syria, that is able to feed or provide fresh water for 18,000 inhabitants. He had his NGO partners working at the borders in Macedonia and Greece, meeting the refugees coming in the midst of the winter, who were basically didn't have enough winter clothing on trains, running away from genocide, and providing them with their clothing, with shoes, with covers, and anything to provide them with the sustenance, and so on and so forth. I can literally speak for an hour about Alan's generosity. So again, Alan, thank you for your friendship, thank you for your support, thank you, and thank you the family as well for all what you guys do to make this world a better place. And it gives me great pleasure and honor to present you with the Priceless Smile Award for 2020. And the floor is yours, Alan.
Thank you, Osama. So I don't usually let myself be recognized this way, but when you've dealt with Osama long enough, you know you don't have a choice. So, however, in keeping with Global Smile and Babak, you've been doing a great job in distinguishing what makes us different. So it's really about serving others, and I accept this award in that spirit and really want to throw it back to the volunteers and the staff. And I've been on a few missions and I know what it takes to be traveling around the world and schlepping through airports, waiting for customs to clear supplies. It's mind-numbing the amount of work that goes on to put on a successful mission. So thank you to everybody who's done this work for many years now. Babak, I first met you in 2005, and I think I do need to visit your plastic surgery center because you haven't aged somehow. It's just been a pleasure to work with Global Smile. We look for things that produce tangible results and touch people's lives. And I have to tell a little story about Osama just to get him back. So you picked up by now that we were actually in Beirut a few weeks ago. When I first saw the emails flying back and forth about Beirut, I said, oh, this will never happen. Come on, we're in the middle of a pandemic. So sure enough, Osama had a group together and went to Beirut. What you don't know, and I didn't realize, and maybe some of you know, is what Osama, of course, selflessly made the trip with a mask and a shield and glasses to protect himself, and everything was done meticulously. But when he came home, I was texting with him and said, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? And I hadn't really thought about it, but he was sheltering for 14 days away from his family because he took this trip. So it takes that kind of leadership to build businesses or organizations like this. And so I want to thank you, Osama and Babak, for really showing the way and the selflessness that everybody in GSF demonstrates. So on behalf of everybody who's done that, I accept this award.
Thank you so much, Alan, for your friendship and all your support. And the floor is yours, Babak.
Thank you so much. And Alan, I remember the day we met, and you are truly a benefactor for GSF. And it's been, I know, like in my private conversations with Osama, he just, just can't thank you enough with all the things that you've done for the organization and the dedication, and not only with financially, but really strategically and with boots on the ground. And you're a true humanitarian, and it's really my honor to be your friend and to know you. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And I'll just put in one more plug. So we need to raise some money this evening.
Yes.
None of this is for free. And if you haven't been moved to tears yet by watching this program, then you don't have to be to contribute. So thanks, everyone.
Yeah. And then again, contributions, everyone has their own level. We understand also it's a pandemic. People have been impacted differently. So there's no donation too small or too large, please. So whatever you can do. Right now we're up to almost $30,000, I've been told. So please, tonight, if you can do everything in your power to financially help Global Smile Foundation, we really appreciate it. But again, a couple of interesting things that, throughout the pandemic, pretty much every organization that does surgical missions or non-surgical missions around the globe shut down completely. And Osama and a team of brave and dedicated volunteers decided to, pack up and go to Lebanon, literally halfway around the world, put themselves in harm's way to help others. And that's just the type of organization that, you have. In addition, earlier we heard about the telemedicine opportunities and being able to, still connect and be in touch with the patients that we have operated on and the patients that we will be operated on. And that's just forward thinking and will help serve GSF in the long run. And finally, again, as you saw with Dr. Luigi, just training doctors in local communities so they can, treat patients there, and all the educational, like the cleft workshops, are just going to, help, people around the world beyond what we are doing. So that's kind of the organization that you're going to be supporting. Again, not just the one-on-one factors, but also with the organization that really impacts beyond just the patient themselves. So our next performer is Chris Dickens, and not only is he a very talented singer and composer, originally from Ecuador, now lives in Buenos Aires, but he is a radiologist and a physician. And he was also a volunteer before he went to med school with Global Smile Foundation. So I'd like to introduce Chris, and he will be our next performer.
Hi, my name is Chris Dickens, and I'm a GSF volunteer from Ecuador, living in Buenos Aires, Argentina. I've been a volunteer since I was a little kid, and now that I'm a grown-up doctor, I can say I've been a witness of how life-changing these missions are. So thanks to all of you for helping. This song I'm gonna sing is called Te Necesito, which means I need you. Hoy no me siento igual. Siento un vacío que cuesta llenar. Me duele tanto pensar, porque es tan fría la soledad. Necesito estar vivo, necesito a alguien con quien charlar, necesito un camino. Quiero pensar que no estoy solo. Quiero llorar, soltarlo todo. Escúchame, no es que hoy no sale el sol. Te necesito. Quédate un rato más. Te necesito. Te lo explico en este momento. Ni siquiera yo sé lo que pienso, pero te escuchar me ayuda a sanar el dolor que yo llevo por dentro. Créeme, yo lo intento 120%, pero pierdo el control y despierta el dolor. Te lo juro, yo te juro, no es cuento. Necesito estar vivo. Necesito a alguien con quien charlar. Necesito un camino. Quiero pensar que no estoy solo. Quiero llorar, soltarlo todo. Escúchame, no ves que hoy no sale el sol. Te necesito. Quédate un rato más. Solo un ratito. Te necesito.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Our next speaker is Manny Ventura, and Manny is actually a motivational speaker, and he speaks on behalf of children who are born with cleft lip and palate, and he had a cleft lip himself. And he's been on numerous media outlets, currently lives in Rhode Island, and has been supporting GSF. And we welcome him to give his thoughts about GSF and children and adults with cleft lip and palate.
Hi, my name is Manny Ventura, and I'm super excited today to share my story with you all here at the Virtual Global Smile Gala. You see, I was born with the cleft, and I needed 5 surgeries on my face to repair my smile. I have to figure out a way to give back to the community. I want to be able to help kids that were born just like me. You know, I felt their pain. I felt the bullies say all their remarks growing up. I was super grateful that I was able to reach out to Global Smile. You know, they really supported me in this journey. I wanted to figure out a way to really give back, to give kindness to the world. There's so many kids around the world that need our help. There's so many kids around that were born with the cleft that can't get access to the medical needs. And so can we together create something that allows us to give back to the cleft community in the biggest way possible? I'm Manny Ventura. Thank you so much for listening to my story.
Okay, we're back. Thank you, Manny. And you just saw Abraham's before and after, and you saw what an amazing outcome that was. And Manny, thank you for sharing your story. Right now, I'd like to introduce a very special person who is, I'm gonna have tears, so this is gonna be really, really difficult, but I'd like to introduce my daughter, Kylie, who several years ago, you know, came to me and wanted to come on these medical mission trips. And she's very academic and wanted to do it in the summer so she doesn't miss any school during the year. And I said, listen, there aren't that many or any summer trips. There's only a couple, but it doesn't fit our schedule. So she took it upon herself to call Usama, Dr. Hamden, and came back to me and said, Dad, we're going on a summer trip and we're gonna, you know, Dr. Hamden said, you know, if I raise $75,000 to $100,000, I'll be able to, you know, make it happen. And she actually went ahead and, you know, through online individual sessions, sitting down with people and, you know, having PowerPoint presentations, was able to raise and exceed actually that figure, and came down on a brand new mission in July of last year. And I'm so proud of her. And she has gone on to do wonderful things, publish about Global Smile Foundation and surgical outreach, and develop a junior board. So I am so proud of you. You're amazing. And I'm so happy that you've taken this organization on your, you know, on your shoulders. Oh, by the way, before we get to Kylie, we got a big pledge, and we're now up to $50,000. So please, let's get to 75, and I welcome Kylie. And she didn't want me to kiss her, but she's my daughter.
Hi, everyone. I hope you've all been doing well and staying healthy. My name is Kylie Azizadeh, and I'm a senior in high school at Harvard Westlake in Los Angeles. And I've been working with Global Smile Foundation since I was a 9th grader. In 2019, my sophomore year, After a year of information sessions, dinner parties, online grants, and social media outreach, I was able to raise $88,000 in order to inaugurate a third annual mission to Ecuador over the summer, which was extremely important in order to achieve a continuity of care and quality of care more similar to the US by allowing for more follow-ups and more treatments. Seeing firsthand the impact on these children and families, I was motivated to do more. Obviously, it was an incredibly difficult task to raise that type of money, especially on my own. So therefore, I worked with Dr. Handon and Lisa Christ in order to create a junior board. Our junior board now consists of 14 members from 11 schools across the US and Canada. Our goal is to raise awareness and educate younger generations about the importance of GSF's mission, as well as create a self-sustaining July mission to Ecuador by raising the money together yearly. We began our first fundraising effort so far 2 weeks ago for Giving Tuesday and have raised over $3,000 so far. Please follow us on Instagram to get updates about our future efforts. It's at GSF Junior Board. Thank you so much for your guys' support and for listening.
Thank you so much, Kylie, and thank you. Our next musician is Kareem Daoudi, and he's a composer and a creative director for film, television, podcast, theater, and interactive media in New York City. So I'd like to welcome Kareem and thank him for being a part of this gala. Thank you, Kareem, for giving that performance. And isn't that shams before and after just unbelievable? I got chills with her last smile. And again, one of the things we always talk about is how lucky we are as physicians and volunteers to be able to go to remote parts of the world and help out, and how much enjoyment and pleasure and satisfaction we get for doing it. And we're really lucky. We're the lucky ones, even though you would think like, you know, these children, you know, have an opportunity to change their lives. This also changes our lives. And in some ways, you know, the satisfaction we get out of these trips are, as Osama says, far beyond any vacation. So again, it's a privilege and honor to be able to be a part of such an amazing organization. Again, for me, I'm lucky because I have, you know, for so many years been a part of the journey of Global Smile Foundation, and I have seen its growth. And even though the sophistication has gotten significantly better, the family and you know, the intimacy of the group has not changed at all, and it remains just an amazing organization that is just about the right size, not too big, not too small, with an ability to provide superior outcomes, far better than honestly you would see here at the top institutions in the United States for these children that, you know, need our help. So again, you know, as we get closer to the end of the program, we're now at 53,000. So please try to give, donate, pledge in these last few minutes so that we can reach our goal of $75,000. And we really, really appreciate your support. Our next guest is Dr. Tal, who is a pediatric rheumatologist and currently a fellow at the Hospital for Sick Children in Toronto. She graduated from AUB, American University of Beirut, and she is also a very talented performer. So we'd like to welcome her and thank her for putting together this performance.
Flying to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Earth, Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I know, for all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you.
And we want to thank Dr. Tal for that performance, and that happened to be my first dance with my amazing wife at our wedding. This brings our virtual gala to an end. We wish, obviously, we could have been all together in a ballroom, beautiful ballroom in Boston or maybe Los Angeles someday. However, I feel like, we've been, it's been a, different world this past year with a pandemic and a little bit more global and virtual. And I hope that this virtual gala has been one that we will remember for a long time. And I thank every single person who's been who has not only participated but donated. We appreciate your generosity, your attention, and please be advocates for these children, not only in how you donate, but understanding that there are so many people around the world that do not have the privilege that we have in our daily lives and in the world we live in. And people can still, again, contribute after the program ends. You have all the contact information, and please look up our website. We have so much information, our Instagram page and our Facebook page, and we look forward to being with you again soon. And please don't hesitate to call, email us for any additional information. And we thank you again for your time and generosity. And we look forward to seeing you in person in the very near future.
Thank you, Babak, as well, for all your support and help. And thanks for the GSF team for being here on a snowy night in Norwood, Massachusetts. Many, many thanks for all the support of our sponsors, board members, and volunteers for really making this is a very, very successful night. I'm sorry for the bit of the glitch initially with the Zoom login. But hopefully this is going to be a recorded event, and we'll have it being accessible as well to everybody who registered. Thanks for being part of this amazing journey over the last 33 years and for helping us make this world a better place. When you look at everything that's happening around the world, in our case, 1 or 2 hours of surgery, you're not only giving the patient a better chance at life, but you're also giving their families that also opportunity to reintegrate back into the society and become functioning members. So with that, I'm very grateful for all your support and help, and have a wonderful evening.